Okay, let's talk about Snowden. Oliver Stone, Gordon-Levitt, Shailene Woodley. NSA and CIA can't spy on me out here. Snowden is directed by Oliver Stone and stars Gordon-Levitt and Shailene Woodley, and is a true life story of Edward Snowden. This dude, he was like an analyst or whatever for CIA, NSA, all these government agencies and stuff. And he basically discovered, oh, our government's spying on us, like just out of the blue, accessing all our phones, computers, everything, totally spying on us and everyone else in a very not good way, basically. And he became a whistleblower and tattled on them. And it's a true life story from it was very recent. It was one of the big defining moments of this generation, I think you could say for sure. And it's a big complex story. I didn't know a lot about it going in. It was a big revealing thing for me. Like, all right, let's see what's up with this whole story that I haven't really followed. I didn't know much about it. I'm gonna discover everything for the first time. Hopefully it's a good movie too. So let's see what we get. And this movie's kind of a mixed bag. Let's get into a lot of the good things first. Oliver Stone as a director is really good. He makes a lot of great choices, interesting camera work, great cinematography. Some scenes just are really great. Some really just, not only just for tension, but staging and everything. I think of one scene where I believe it's Rise Iphons. He played the lizard, right? And he's talking to Snowden, and it's the scene where basically, to not spoil it, he's looming very large over Snowden in a certain way, and it's just, it was a really, really good scene. I'm like, damn, it's direction like that. That's just really cool. That's a great scene. And there's a lot of good scenes like that. A lot of good tension in this movie that gets to play out with the idea of surveillance and all this stuff, government intrigue, conspiracies. Oliver Stone, I know he's kind of famous for that. He's done it. I know he did like JFK, which I haven't seen yet. I should. But like a lot of those scenes he plays out really, really well, and he feels very interested in the story, Oliver Stone as a director, and in Snowden the man, he wants to cram a lot in. He wants you to know as much about Snowden as you can, maybe sometimes a little too much. Some things might be like, this little minutia here might be a little unimportant, because I feel like the movie runs a little bit too long, and because he wants to put in so much, because he's interested in it, it's sometimes a little overstuffed, and the movie goes on a little too long, and that kind of messes with the pacing. So sometimes the movie does drag, it feels a little bloated. And he also, I will credit, I guess, that he picks a side in this. You know, with a lot of real life stories or political movies, sometimes the movies want to ride the line. Oliver Stone picks a side of, yes, this is what the government did, it's bad, we should be mad at them, don't trust your government, fight for freedom, fight for truth, that sort of, he picks that side, and I'm like, hey, me too. I'll hop on that side with you. I can agree with that. And so it's nice that he wasn't riding the line like, here's a story, but I'll just play it down the middle and not be safe. Like he went for it like, hey government, just, yeah. And then we got all the acting. Gordon-Levitt was magnificent as Edward Snowden. He really dived into that role. That's one of those great transformative roles where, yes, he doesn't exactly fully look like him because there's only so much you can do as an actor, but he sounds just like him. He sounds like Ed Snowden in a really creepy way where he really became Ed Snowden and I stopped seeing JGL. Is that what the kids call him nowadays? JGL? Sure. But yeah, it's a great transformative performance. He captured it really well. He played it great. And also Shailene Woodley is really great in the movie. A lot of the supporting cast is really good. You got Shailene Woodley doing a phenomenal job. I don't know words right now. But also, Rise Iphons is one of the villainous, shady government characters. Really, really good. And also, sorry if it's a spoiler, but we got Nick Cage in this movie. I didn't know he was in it. And when he showed up, I was like, oh my God. Nick is in this? And I was so excited. We got Nick Cage, and he does deliver fully. He's great in this, and he's not being super wacky. His head's not a flaming skull, but he still captivates in his small role. Snowden, I want you to find terrorists in the internet haystack. What's in the internet anyway? A shark or something? You know, he's great actually. I love Nick Cage in this, and it's just a small little role, but It's Nick Cage, so he takes that small role and just blows it out of the water. He's great. So all the acting's really good, and the direction overall is good, but like I said, there's a lot of minutia in the story, and sometimes it's overstuffed. There's maybe too much. There's some things where it's like, I get you want us to know a lot about this to try and get as much context as possible, but the movie's over 2 hours, there's a lot in it, and sometimes it's too much. The movie drags a little bit. Like it starts, I was super into it, but it hits a wall, and then it loses all steam it had going, and it just kind of slows down and starts dragging through the rest of it. And I kind of lost interest, actually, where it's like, okay, I get where we are at this point in the movie, and I kind of just wanted to move on, get to the point, and kind of finish up. And yeah, it lost steam, and there's something about it where it's like, it's an interesting story, the filmmaking involved and the acting and everything is good, but for some reason it's still it's dull at a certain point. I get kind of bored and dull, and it drags, and I don't know quite what it was. So overall, it's a really well-made movie, but God, there's something about the script or too much in there that the second half lost quite a bit. It's still an interesting story, but the movie itself wasn't quite entertaining enough. I'm trying to think how to put this. It's a weird thing. I'm not sure how to describe it. It was missing something that kept me engaged. It lost a little something in the second half. But overall, still a really well-made movie. I would give Snowden a B-. There's still a lot to like, but man, it just lost me at a certain point, and that's a bummer. But I still want to check out the documentary and everything, because it's a cool journey, even though the movie at a certain point kind of loses it. Maybe the documentary will do it better. I want to check it out. It's a cool story. It's an important issue. It's an important movie, but sadly, it wasn't a great movie. It's just kind of like, it's okay with some really good parts, but then it kind of loses you. It's kind of a bummer. But comment below, tell me your thoughts on Snowden, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.